Well, hello, my YouTube friends. Today I'm just shooting a casual video to let you know about our Mexican culture. Like, if you ever go visit a Mexican home, or if you have friends that are Mexicans, what do we do different than the rest? I'm going to give you a few things. Like, for example, one of the first things that you have to understand about us is that we don't we don't get sent to the room if we do something wrong. I mean, they don't tell us go to your room because we don't have rooms. We only have a room, but that room is for everybody. You know, our six, seven brothers, we all sleep in the room. Our parents sleep in that room. So when they say go to your room, you don't have a room. So that could be good, but it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. Another thing you need to know about Mexicans is that we protect our feet. If it's a cold day, we protect the feet. If it's a hot day, we protect the feet. For example, if it's a very hot day and you're going to be just playing with the water, with the hose, and it's hot, you want to get wet, the first thing a Mexican does, if you happen to wet your feet, then you have to get some water and wet your forehead so it's not to get sick. If you're gonna jump into a swimming pool, you get the water, wet your forehead, you wet your feet, and then you get in the swimming pool. Because if not, you're gonna get sick. Now, Mexicans do not go in the swimming pool right after they ate. We cannot do that. Se te revienta una tripa, you're gonna bust the gut or something. That's what their parents would tell you. No, you can't go swimming right now. You're gonna bust your gut. Se te va a reventar la tripa. Espérate, just wait. So you're gonna have to wait minimum 2 hours. So if you're hanging around with us Mexicans, and don't even ask us, man. Let's go. Let's go do something else. Let's go walking and for a couple hours, and then we get into the swimming pool. If your mom, your parent, your dad are watching you and you get in that swimming pool, you're gonna be in trouble. And another thing, if you had a friend that was Mexican and it was a cold day and it's a day off, from school, and then you go to our house and you knock on the door, and we will come to the door and you say, hey, you want to go play outside? And us Mexicans, we usually say, we're not allowed to go outside. And you were like, and here you are, it's in a cold day, and you guys are wearing shorts and just a t-shirt. You guys been running, you never got sick. Mexicans get sick, I guess. But it all has to be with the feet again. Remember, on a cold day, if you get wet, if you get your feet wet, put the water in the forehead. But on a cold day, if you get up and it's Saturday and then you start walking, you go to the refrigerator and your mom wakes up and if she sees that you are not wearing socks, you're walking barefoot on that ground, it's a big no-no. You're gonna get sick. You know how much we pay in medical bills? Well, we don't go to the hospital. They give us some tea, stafiate, or give us some caldo, some chicken soup or something. But yeah, don't you dare walk on that floor barefooted. You will be in so much trouble. So when we happen to do that and your mom catches you, then you go and you get some socks and you put them on, right? And now your mom sees, ves, that's better. And then you walk in and then you knock on the door. And we know that if we have socks, we're not allowed to go outside and step on the ground with our socks. You crazy? You want to start watching your own clothes? Who do you think was your slave? So we basically just kind of stay home on a cold day because we already touched the ground, and you better not get sick because you won't hear the end of it. Mom will tell you, I told you not to walk barefooted. Muchacho tonto. You know. Oh, and if you just get the urge to cough, don't do it in front of your mom because she's gonna turn around and she's gonna say, "You're getting sick." Te lo dije. But no. So, if you have to cough, just kind of hold it because you walk barefooted. It might have been 3 steps, but she saw you. And that's it. And you have to play it smart. If you still want to go outside and play, you have to wait for the next day. Yeah, you gotta, because you already stepped on cold floor. So the next day, you better be smart enough. Go in, put your socks on, and at least look for your mama's chanclas and put them on. Just kind of wait until she kind of sees you. Oh, andale, you got chanclas on. And then now you can go play outside. But by no means step outside on a cold day and not cover your mouth like this. You will hear the biggest lecture of your life of how your Uncle Juan, his mouth was crooked like this, and his mouth was like that because he was in the warm air here inside the house, and then he stepped outside on the cold air, and I guess he got some aire, got some air in him, and now he's like that. So yeah, cover your mouth like this. If you're stepping in the cold, that's a law for us Mexicans to do. I mean, till this day, I tell my kids, cover your mouth when you're stepping outside. Hey, put your socks on. Don't be walking barefoot on that cold floor. Por llorando bien fuerte, which translates to crying out loud. Well, it's not, but that's what I tell them. Another thing that's part of our culture, if you go visit another Mexican house to your friend, he's your friend, and they're going to offer you any kind of food they have, they want you to eat. Now, you probably already ate, and you're going to say no. They're going to tell you, me vas a desairar, which means, you're going to say no to me. And that means, desairar means like, it's almost the equivalent of, like, if you don't eat, what they're offering you is like you're withholding some kind of blessing or something. It goes back to those days. So yeah, when you go to a Mexican home and you say, no, I just ate. That doesn't work. It's not gonna work. They're gonna keep on asking you and asking you until you at least try it. So just try it. Eat a little bit. And you probably will like it. You say, ooh, can I have some more? But now I'm talking about us adults. Now, if you go to another house and you're just a kid, and your parents, while we're driving to that house, they're going to give you that lecture. They're going to tell you, listen, when we get to the Lopez home and they offer you something to eat, you better say no. So you got three things, and I learned it. You better say no. You better say it polite, and you better sound convincing. So when they come to you and they offer you a piece of cake or something, no, gracias, no quiero. We're gonna go play right now. Oh, okay. That's the way you need to do it. Trust me. So yes, by no means embarrass your mom. And what do I mean by that? Well, when they come and they offer those cupcakes, and then they come to you, he says, here, cupcake. Don't do this. Don't look at your mom as if you want approval, because this is what she's going to say, and she's going to sound so nice. She said, well, they're asking you. They're asking, if you're hungry, go ahead and take it. And then if you take it, you're kind of going to be confused. Does she want me to take it or not? You're going to be confused. And because she's going to sound so nice. Pues take it. Just take it if you're hungry. And then you take it. And these are the next words that are going to come out of her. she's gonna say, but ándale, eat it and go play outside, okay? And don't come back. Váyanse a jugar, go play. Which translated means, you already embarrassed me. Go play, go outside, so you don't come back and continue embarrassing me. Because you're already in trouble. And also, you're gonna get it when we get home. And believe me, when you get home and you know what's coming to you, you're gonna say, man, was it really worth it? Man, it probably wasn't worth it. Trust me. And then you're gonna be there playing, for a couple hours. Your mom is gonna be so nice to you. Oh, be careful, Chewy. Don't be running through here, okay? And you're thinking, oh man, everything's cool. It's time to go home. You get in a minivan because most Mexicans have minivans because we have so many kids, and so you're in the minivan, and of course you want to see if your mom forgot about that incident, and you want to test the ground, you want to test the waters, and here's you say, Mom, you want me to cut the grass tomorrow, Mom? Get up, I can get up early, just cut the grass, and then she doesn't answer you. She gives you that silent treatment, and then you begin to think, you start getting confused again. Well, did she hear me? Do I dare ask again? Don't ask her again, because you may not have to, because right by then your little sister is going to say, Mom, do you want me to make a sandwich when I get home? Can I, Mom? Can I make a sandwich? Because when they offered me at the Lopez's, I said no. And did I sound convincing, Mom? And she answers her and she says, yes, you did. Yeah, when you get home, you can make yourself a bologna sandwich. Yeah. Then you know you messed up. And then your little sister's going to look at you like this. You know you're in trouble you know you are in deep trouble then. From then on, you're going to try to be in the best behavior, trying to break your mom to go your way, and she's not going to budge 1 inch. She's not going to move 1 inch. You may even try to fake to go to sleep. And when you get home, like you're still asleep, that's not going to work. When you get home, now I want you to remember that for us Mexicans, there is no timeout. They're not going to put you in a corner. They're not going to tell you you're grounded or you're on timeout. No, we don't have that. We either have the chancla, we have the belt, we have the cuarta. The cuarta is that thing used to, for the horses. And they used to hang it right there on the wall so that you could see it, Or, this is a typical one, go get me a branch from the tree outside. And that's when your punishment begins. You go outside and you look at the branches on that tree and you're saying, do I get a thick one? If I get a thick one, it's gonna hurt me. If I get a thin one, it's gonna hurt me even more. And that's when you think and you realize that that piece of cake was not worth it. And it's at that moment that you're going to learn your lesson, but it's too late. And boy, I don't know what to tell you. That's if you get those things. Now, if you get the belt it's also, I don't know how your parents do it. Put that belt so quick, put it in on top of the bed, right there, right in the middle of the bed, right? And you're kind of whistling and you think, maybe she forgot. And he said, Chuy, go to the room. You go to the room, and the first thing you see is that belt right there in the middle of the bed. And you look at it, and you sit right next to it, and you kind of glance at it a couple of times or 3 times, and they'll leave you there for about 15 or 20 minutes so that you can start thinking of what you did. See, that's what that punishment was. That now I'm realizing that. You know what? I'm gonna start using it. That's pretty cool. I learned my lesson. Believe me, the next time I went there, I was so polite and I said, "No, thank you, gracias, no, no, I already ate. We're gonna go play in a little bit." I was so convincing. I looked at my mom, and she just smiled at me. She went like this. Learned. If you're a Mexican, or if you're a Chicano, or if you have a friend that's a Mexican, or if you, even if you are a gringo, and something like this happened, drop in the comments. Let us know what that culture, how did they discipline you? That was, I'm just thinking it was kind of cool, but it did hurt. But they didn't hit us too many times. Maybe I think a couple of three times maybe for things that we did, and I think they would really try to kind of teach us not to be bad or not to do things. We were doing things that were bad, but they were trying to teach us to be respectful at other people's homes, and I don't know. It's part of our culture, I guess. And I think if that's what happened to you, what what happened at your homes, please drop it in the comments. I would love to know. Maybe we can talk about it on another video. But for now, I'm gonna keep on saying things that happen in Mexican homes. Another thing, like if I invite someone to go eat, or I invite someone, a friend of mine, to go to the movies, it is our custom that basically I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay for you, and I'm gonna pay for your food. That's the custom. It's probably here in America for us Mexicans, we still do it, but like it's more prevalent in Mexico. And they even have a saying, "El que invita paga." The one who invites pays. So it's part of the culture. Maybe we are losing those things, but that was part of the culture. So another thing, let's say that we went out to eat as a group, and a Mexican will usually get up to go pay for everyone else there on the table. If it's four or five, he'll usually get up and try to pay for everyone as a courtesy, of what we learn. Um, but yeah, try not to abuse that. You know, if a Mexican does that, then maybe the other friends will tell you, "Hey, thank you, and I'll get you next time," and they will get you next time. You go out to eat, and they'll invite you, and then they'll get up and pay, and that's the way we do it. Today, also, we're gonna talk about being polite. For example, if you're learning English, if you're learning Spanish, and you know that what means que. So if your mom calls you and you didn't hear, you say, "What?" In Spanish, you can say que, because that's not being polite. I mean, if you're talking to your parents, to your uncle, to someone to a teacher, you don't say what. You say mande, which translates as it's "I beg your pardon." See, you don't say that. Or if you just met somebody, like if you just meet a girl, even if she's the same age of you, you don't call her by tú. You don't say to your mom or to your grandma, "Tú, abuelita," you, grandma. No, you say "usted, abuelita." Even if you just met a girl or a guy or whatever, you say "usted," because you still don't know the person, and it'll take some time. Once you get to know them, that girl might tell you, "You don't have to call me usted. You can call me tú now," which means that we already know each other. We have more confianza. We can, there's more getting to know each other now. We know each other more. This next one that I'm gonna tell you has to do more with the Mexican culture right now. Like when I grew up in my hometown, if you were to go to a dance, Let's say I was 17, and then you go to a dance and you want to go to a dance, and there's your friend from school and she has a crush on you and you have a crush on her, and you go ask her to dance. If she's younger than 15, even though if you're 16, she's gonna say no, because she'll give you the reason. It says no, they're gonna make me a quinceanera, which technically then they're telling you we cannot dance until after a quinceañera, until after we're 15, then they're allowed to dance, with you. That's now if they want to forfeit the quinceañera, then they can dance with you, but that means no quinceañera for her. So, and another thing, when you go to the dance, and then you will see all the girls, and it's kind of hard, and you want to ask somebody to dance, and you really want to dance with that girl, don't worry about it. It's more likely that she's going to say yes. Because it takes guts for a person to go all the way there to ask somebody to dance. And this girl has been trained that the polite way, when somebody asks you to dance, you say yes, and you dance a parada. A parada is 3 songs. So at least she's gonna dance with you 3 songs. That's a parada, and that's part of their culture. Like where I grew up, you go ask a girl, and you'll dance 3 songs, right? So when the first song finishes, you just stay there while the group or the band is preparing for the next song. This is where you start talking and see if it something's gonna click, and then you know and then the next song starts, dance the second song, and the same way until you dance the 3 songs. That's a parada. If it clicks, at the end of the third song, you as a gentleman should kind of initiate, see if she wants you to take her back. Okay, there's gonna be something that you're gonna know whether she wants you to take her back or not. So maybe if at the end of the third song you kind of stay there, and she'll ask you something, another question, that means you have to take me. You know, that's she's telling you, I think I like it. I think I like you. I think we're clicked. And that's gonna be your dance partner for other dances, and then that's how maybe you guys are gonna get to know each other more. And but if she liked you and she threw that question after the third song, the meaning, I'm okay staying here. But if you don't like her, then that's your way out. You pretend like you didn't hear her, and then you're very polite, grab her by the elbow, and then just go, and no harm done. And that's part of the culture where we grew up. Another thing that's part of the culture, or it could be maybe even superstition, it is superstition, I'm saying, is that when a baby gets the hiccup, people get a little piece of red thread and they wet it and they put it right here on the forehead. I don't know. They think the hiccups will go away, that thread. And you will see this in babies. So if you ever go to Mexico and you happen to see a baby has a little thread here, that's because the baby has the hiccups, and it's just a superstitious thing. Another thing that's part of the culture where I grew up, uh, when we would go back and visit our hometown, and you would hear a lot of cars honking. When people are getting married, the married couple are in the front of the car, and there be all the family cars and friends in the back, be probably 20, 30 cars, and they're all honking, and they're going all around the town, after they got married from church, and then they're headed back to their house, which they will usually have the party at their house. They don't rent the hall. I mean, some people rent the hall, but they usually do it at their own homes. But when you hear those cars honking, that means they're inviting the whole town to the wedding. You're invited. And so you go to the wedding and you're gonna have live music, you're gonna have food, you're gonna have a good time. And let's say that you like somebody in Mexico and you wanna marry that person. Usually the father of the bride will pay for the wedding and or will arrange for the wedding, because in Mexico weddings you get padrinos. I think translates as godfathers, padrinos, I guess. So, yeah, which means you get people, like you get a padrino for music, which means that person is gonna take care of the music part. He's gonna contribute that part to you if you're the father. Hey, you want to be a padrino for my for of music? And usually you'll say yes, and then they'll pick somebody. You want to be a padrino for the cokes? You want to be a padrino for the meat? And you want to be a padrino for the cake? And they get padrinos for everything. And so at the beginning of the wedding, they'll mention the list, the padrino de música, and usually they go all the way. When you're asked to be a padrino and you're in charge of the music, I mean, you're in charge of the music. You go get a band, and you pay that band. And so usually the boyfriend or the groom, the bride and the groom, they usually don't have to pay anything. They'll save their money for their own marriage. The people will pay, and that's why we can afford to invite the whole town, to the weddings. Oh, and this is another thing. If you meet a girl in Mexico and you just happen to go walking with her, remember, if you're walking like on the sidewalk, the girl goes on the inside. You have to go on the outside, like by the side of the road. But on the sidewalk, you're on the side of the road, and the girl is always on the inside. That's a rule in the Mexican culture. If the girl is on the outside and you're on the inside, they'll tell you, somebody will yell at you, "Hey, are you selling her?" or something, that like telling you you're doing wrong. You're the man. You need to walk. Let her walk on the inside. You're on the outside. Just a little, you know, reminder. And one more thing, like if you ever visit our house and you're trying to look for the pots and the pans, because you're part of almost like, because the Mexicans would treat you like you're part of the family. They'll offer you food right as soon as you come home. Yeah, just go to the refrigerator, get whatever you need, and then yeah, you may even be cooking in the first day you meet them or whatever. If you're looking for pots and pans, they're not gonna be hanging real neat right there on top. No, just go to the stove and open it. You know, it's gonna be right there on that where you bake the cakes. That's where we put all our pots and pans at a Mexican home. Trust me. Trust me on this one. At a Mexican home, when you go there and, or well, like for example, when I live here, and then we get our shampoo, we usually buy the dollar shampoo, whatever. We don't buy the Head and Shoulders. Uh, but once we run out and just a little bit, and you're the last one to get in there, we put water in there and we shake it and we shake it, and that has to last us at least one more week. And it will. And also when we go to the grocery store and we buy all our food and we come back and we have all our food, we put all our food on our table, we start putting it away, and then we start taking those bags, and we open one bag and put all the other bags in there, and we're gonna use those bags for trash every time. I mean, every Mexican home will have Walmart bags or whatever, or HB bags or whatever, wherever you shop, bags for the trash in the bathroom. And we don't buy trash bags. It's a sin to buy trash bags. And last but not least, at a Mexican home, we are starting to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and we are loving it. right? So this is what we do when we buy the peanut butter and jelly. We buy 2 things of jelly and one big one, uh, Peter Pan or whatever you like, um, of peanut butter. When we finish our peanut butter, we will wash that jar very clean with soap, and shake it and more soap, and then so clean, and then put the lid on it, and then we're gonna cut the top, and we're gonna use that for a piggy bank. And of course, for the jelly, when you wet the thing, you can scrape the little whatever little paper it has. You scrape it off with soap and water, and we use those as glasses. And a lot of Mexican homes, we have like 6 or 8 that we don't have to buy glasses. We use peanut butter and jelly. So I hope you like this video. Please let me know what else you have noticed at Mexican homes. Thank you for being here. We're already 32,000 subscribers. So please continue subscribing, share the videos. Orale Homes. We'll see you in one next video.